Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City of Greensboro is working with Guilford County to prepare the community for COVID-19 vaccinations. Residents are encouraged to get their vaccination when it's their turn. This is the beginning of Phase 1B, Group 1 vaccinations for residents age 75 or older. This group will start receiving vaccines on Monday, January 11th. Those who qualify for a vaccination in this phase can call to schedule an appointment, which is required. No walk-ups will be accepted. Vaccines will be administered in Greensboro at Mount Zion Baptist Church on Alamance Church Road. The other location is the High Point University Community Center at Oak Hollow Mall on East Chester Drive in High Point. It's important to emphasize Guilford County and every other county distributing vaccines is not charging for vaccinations regardless of insurance status. Anyone requiring a payment to schedule a vaccination appointment is running a scam. The state has also developed a website called yourspotyourshot.nc.gov. This serves as an excellent resource for vaccination information, including the various rollout phases. The Greensboro Planning Department is sharing its annual report on a variety of key economic measures. The Growth and Development Trends Report highlights 2019 trends. The report has been published and is available on the city's website. Two key findings worth noting include the fact that the monthly unemployment rate for Greensboro in December 2019 was 3.5, the lowest in 20 years. Also, the average annual wages increased in 2019, and more Greensboro residents were employed as compared to 2018. We know that 2020 figures will paint a much different picture. The unemployment rate increased to an unprecedented figure in May 2020. Many people lost their jobs or had their hours reduced, which will likely result in lower wages and higher poverty numbers for 2020, according to Sue Schwartz, the city's planning director. The next trends report will be published in the summer. The 2019 edition and previous reports are available on the Planning Department section of the city's website. Click on the Population and Statistics tab. Now that winter has settled in, this is the ideal time for residents to bookmark the winter closings pages on the city's website. This is the best way to stay up to date on changes to city government services and hours of operation during inclement weather. Simply visit greensboronc.gov/winter closings on the city's website. The winter closings page features a link to an interactive map that shows where snowplows are operating throughout Greensboro. There are also links to the city's official Facebook and Twitter pages. Please take a moment to like and follow us. The page also includes the list of local news stations that report city government closings and delayed openings. If you haven't already done so, visit the city's website and bookmark the winter closings page in advance of any winter weather events. The city developed a partnership with Cone Health to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's News for Your Health.
How well do you really understand food labels? It's an important step in making healthy choices. Let's talk about what you should look for. The first thing you should look at in a nutrition food label is the serving size, because that's going to differ from the portion size. The nutrition serving size is based off of one serving of that food and beverage. You may eat more than one serving, and you'll have to account for that on the facts label as far as total calories, fat, all of those things. So the percent daily value, or capital D, capital V on the foods label, is going to be a guide for you as far as how much of one nutrient you should get per day. And that's based off a percentage out of 2,000 calories a day, which you may need more or less of, depending on your stature, activity level, things like that. As an example, if a food label has 5% daily value, that's going to be 5% of your needs of that nutrient per day. So when you're looking at the total fat in a product, you'd also want to go underneath that and look at the breakdown of the fat. So trans fat, saturated fat, and unsaturated fat. For saturated fat or fats that are solid at room temperature, you'd really want to look to limit those, or again, have no more than 5% of your daily value for those foods. For trans fats, I'd really recommend avoiding foods that have trans fats. They're man-made, they're not natural, and really not something that you'd want to consume on a regular basis, whereas unsaturated fats are your healthy fats, and those are things that are helpful for your joints, for your brain health, and those are liquid at room temperature. So when you're looking for sugars on the nutrition fact label, you really want to focus in on those added sugars, because those added sugars are what you'd really want to limit or avoid. That doesn't provide any nutritional value in your diet, but does add up as far as your daily caloric allotment pretty quickly. You should definitely be looking at vitamins, minerals, and fiber that's listed on the facts label. Getting a variety of those types of nutrients is all really important for daily functioning, and also preventing illnesses, for anemia, osteoporosis, all those things you hear about that you get later in life. For daily fiber requirements, for adult males it should be somewhere around 37 grams per day, and adult females somewhere around 25 grams per day. And you can find those in any fruits, vegetables, or whole grains. And eating a variety of those foods, eating foods with color, making your plate colorful is all a really great way to make sure you're getting that variety. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this information has been helpful. If you're interested in more information, go to conehealth.com/healthyeating. I'm Lisa Balestrino.
After months of suspending payments and not cutting off water service, the city is returning to standard billing operations. Residents are encouraged to bring their accounts current. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The city is resuming collections for residential water service. The J. Edward Kitchen Operations Center is accepting payments and handling sewer service needs at the customer service area. The hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays, and customers are required to wear a face covering inside the building. Water bills can also be paid in the main lobby of the Melvin Municipal Office Building on West Washington Street. Residents experiencing difficulty paying their water bill or sewer bill are encouraged to make payment arrangements by calling the city's contact center during the week from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The usual $1 convenience fee for making payments online or by phone has been temporarily waived. Financial assistance for utilities, rent, or mortgage is available through funds from the CARES Act, which helps those impacted by COVID-19. To obtain an application, visit the Neighborhood Development section of the city's website. Cone Health is accepting letters of interest from North Carolina artists to produce a signature art piece in the Outpatient Women's Services Building. Opening for patients this spring, the Outpatient Women's Facility will truly be for all women, regardless of their stage of life, status, background, or health condition. Cone Health believes art is an integral part of creating a sense of belonging and can bring the female experience to life. The signature art piece should accentuate the lobby by connecting art and wellness in an engaging and meaningful way. The art should also reflect the Women's Services mission and exemplify it in a creative and innovative way, inspiring wonder and compassion. Cone Health is partnering with Arts Greensboro to manage the application process for artist submissions. Letters of interest will be accepted through Arts Greensboro's grant portal. The deadline for submission is on Friday, January 15th. 3 artists will be selected to complete a full application by February 22nd. A selection will be made by mid-March. The project completion date is set for September 1st. The call to artist and application requirements are available on the Arts Greensboro website. The final mile approaches on the downtown Greenway as construction work continues on the Murrow Boulevard section, running from Gate City Boulevard north and then west to Fisher Avenue and Green Street. This portion is almost complete, with some final landscaping, site furnishings, and signage waiting to be installed. An assessment is ongoing of the recent repaving of Murrow Boulevard, so expect to see cones on the road a little longer. The bridges along Fisher Avenue that go over the railroad tracks and Church Street are in need of repair, and that work will take place this year. The trail will be open and a safe route provided during that construction. This section is a dramatic change from a 6-lane divided highway, which was unsafe for pedestrians and cyclists with no landscaping, to what is there today, a 12-foot wide greenway with enhanced landscaping, lots of trees, a protected bike lane, and a road suitable for vehicular traffic. The former railroad corridor on the west side goes out to bid in April with an anticipated summer start date. This section should be complete next year and will close the 4-mile loop of the downtown greenway. The International Civil Rights Center and Museum remains open in the midst of these turbulent times paired with COVID-19. Coming up after the break, find out how you can help support the museum and sustain its operations. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The Civil Rights Museum maintains the spotlight on racial equity and social justice. People come from all over the country to visit this historic downtown jewel. Here's your chance where you can lend your support. Joining me now to tell us about the museum's annual fundraising gala is John Swain. He is the CEO of the museum. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Carla.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. So you start the year each year with your annual fundraising gala. How will the elements be different and presented in a virtual format?
This year it is going to be a little bit different. We had agonized over how to best bring this to the community and welcome people in from other states. So I'm quite excited about it this year. It is going to be a virtual event, and from all that I've seen so far, it's looking really good.
Any highlights or sneak peeks you can give us?
We've got voices from the past with the ANT4, and we were fortunate enough to bring some really nice talent in to record some poetry pieces for them. We've introduced some wonderful performers, the point dancers. I'm amazed at how high these girls can jump, and young men as well, but they've done a fabulous job at helping us put the gala together.
So speaking of which, when is the event taking place?
Well, this year it's going to be on January the 30th. Usually we try to get as close to that February 1 date as possible, but Saturday falls on January 30th this year, so that'll be our day.
Okay. Now, you're obviously hosting this event each year as a way to raise money.
Yes.
It's one of your signature fundraising events. How do the donations actually help support the museum?
They go a long way in helping to keep the doors open. We were fortunate in 2020 to have our gala out of the way before the COVID-19 situation hit. And I can't thank the community enough for stepping up and helping us to raise some support to get us through the year. So that has helped us to help other smaller organizations as well. There are many overhead costs that we still incur even though the doors are closed. The utilities, they still come. The insurances, liability insurances, workers' compensation, all of that, it still happens. So we have to raise funds to see to the well-being of this national treasure and community treasure.
Absolutely. And speaking of the treasure, the whole basis of the museum is the ANT4.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about the significance of this group and how the museum keeps their memory alive?
One of the things I'm proud about is the youthfulness of the ANT4. In 1960, these 4 young men were just college students with great ideas about civil rights and human decency, the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. So it's always an opportunity to welcome young minds in and educate them about how to participate in the civic order and how to be respectful of one another. Greensboro had a nonviolent protest that lasts from February 1 of 1960 until July 25th. And we are a model to the rest of the world about how to host a peaceful protest where no one loses their life, no one has to be degraded, but I love working for this institution because I'm proud of the accomplishments of the past, and we remind people of what the future holds. there are bright opportunities available, and seeing young people come in and honoring them as we reflect on the ANT4, and they are founders in this country as well. Yes. We refer to them as founders.
And we need to reflect back on what they taught us.
Absolutely.
And certainly in this day and age. Now, you have added a new category to your list of honorees this year. Tell us what the Keeper of the Flame represents.
One of the nice things about having a younger staff, or a mix of young staff and older, those who help us open opportunities and lead the way, we're now focusing on some younger people in the community who are doing remarkable work. And so this year we have introduced the Flame Keepers Award, and we're very proud to extend that to Terrence Muhammad. He is a fabulous person in the community, and there has been so much enthusiasm about him getting this award.
It's nice to see that you have new faces and perspectives that you're adding to this presentation. Who are some of the other civil rights allies that you will be honoring this year?
Well, fortunately, we have Representative James Clyburn. We are so excited to honor him for the work that he has done. As you know, he is one of the founding members of SNCC. So we're glad to bring him in and help us with this commemoration. The next one is Brian Stevenson with the Equal Justice Project and the work that he has done. It has been received across the globe so nicely. And the book that he has written, Just Mercy, we can barely keep that on the shelves. Julia Peoples, Reverend Peoples, here in Greensboro, we're going to be honoring her with a Community Lifetime Achievement Award. Everywhere I go, when there's a protest, she shows up, and she is a leader, and the work that she's doing in the community is just fabulous. Our sit-in participant this year is going to be Miss Caitlin Wynn. Caitlin Ingrid Wynn. She lives in Philadelphia, and she was one of the Bennett Bells. She graduated in 1963 from Bennett College. So we're going to be extending the Sit-in Participant Award to her. And then, of course, as I said, the Keeper of the Flame. Now, there is one additional award that we are working on now. I'm expecting to release the announcement about our International Trailblazer Award, and just hopefully by Monday of the coming week. So
okay, we're going to stay tuned.
I'm so excited about this one. Someone who has just been instrumental in her own country and has done a fabulous job. So we know all about being incarcerated when you're doing good, powerful work for the country, but we look for opportunities like this.
And that puts the international in the title of your museum.
We're going to work on that international piece a little bit more.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you've just enticed so many folks to want to tune in to the virtual gala experience. Is there an admission fee, and how do you get tickets, either for an individual or for groups?
Absolutely. There is still opportunity to sponsor this gala. The information is listed on our website, or people can reach out to us at the museum, and we'll send a package to them. Individuals will be able to participate. The tickets are $50 per viewing, and a portion of it will be tax deductible. And it's a great way to support this museum. Even though we can't all be in the same room together, there is still opportunity. So we have not shut down those tickets yet. We will be sending out links for everyone who has signed up for the gala, and they'll get a private code so they can log on January 30th at 6:30 when we do the pre-show for that day, and then we'll start the event at 7 o'clock.
Okay, now is this going to be an all-nighter?
We do not do all-nighters anymore.
Had to ask.
A lot of people like to ask that question. Some people are midnight owls, and we're reining that in so that we can be respectful of the time for all of our guests and attendees. But if you want to go back and hang out and do some more of it, we'll have some opportunities for that as well.
Okay, and speaking of which, does the production of this virtual version of the gala fall solely on your staff?
No. As a matter of fact, we've had a number of volunteers in the community to step forward, including yourself. the city to step forward and say, I want to be part of this commemoration and putting it together. And as you know, a couple of years ago, I invited the community. If there are people who they know that are doing wonderful work, let me know about it. Because we do not need to be just a bubble putting these events together, but reach out and bring in some participation from the corporate community for our volunteers. So it's been wonderful working with a wide variety of people to put this event together, because I like to hear what outside people are thinking as well and have them on the ship with me.
Absolutely. Well, certainly it's been a pleasure working with you and the other members of our committee. Thank you for telling us about the gala, one last push, and how people can participate, and I am sure it's going to be a huge success.
It's going to be a great event, and I'm looking forward to February 1 when we can do some more great things in the community.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for some useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. Due to COVID-19, the City Council is meeting virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. City Council meetings usually take place on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Say Yes Guilford is once again offering its virtual tutoring program to Guilford County Schools students. The tutoring is free and open to any GCS student in kindergarten through 8th grade. Parents can register on the Say Yes Guilford website. Tutoring begins on Monday, January 25th. Federal work-study students at GTCC, North Carolina A&T, UNCG, and Greensboro College will join GCS service learning students and community volunteers to work with students up to 3 times a week. All tutors will be required to complete a GCS-approved background check prior to working with students. Say Yes Guilford is using 3 different tutoring programs. HELPS will assist 2nd through 5th graders with reading. One-on-one general tutoring will be provided for other elementary students' needs, and the A+ test prep and tutoring will be available to middle school students. Sessions will take place on Google Meet. Students receive up to 2 hours of practice per week. Tutoring will continue through the remainder of the school year. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first we have an important message about COVID-19.
Remember the 3 W's. Wear a cloth face mask covering, wait 6 feet from others, and wash your hands often. By working together, we can adjust to this new normal and continue to save lives.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The Vance Chavis Library is offering a series of coffee hour virtual meetings with actress Karen Kisei. Known for her roles in The Walking Dead, Stranger Things, Black Lightning, and the movie Rings, Kisei will interview influential guests over coffee. The series will kick off with Tammy Billups, best-selling author and global pioneer in animal-human relationships. Join the coffee hour conversation at 5 p.m. on Monday, January 11th on the Greensboro Public Library Facebook page. The next guest is Erica Suzanne. She will be interviewed at 5 p.m. on Monday, January 18th. She wrote the autobiography Black Panther Princess. Erica's parents were members of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. Additional interviews by Karen Kisei will be featured in upcoming Vance Chavis coffee hours. For more information, please visit the library's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Greensboro Science Center. The popular tourist attraction hosted the first ever Winter Wonderlights during the holidays. The experience proved to be an overwhelmingly positive and emotional success story for the community. The Greensboro Science Center team worked alongside professional lighting designers from GES Events. The Winter Wonderlights experience generated more than 64,000 tickets sold. People from more than 80 North Carolina counties visited the center, and this was also made possible because of generous community partners and sponsors. Way to go, Greensboro Science Center. Please remember, as more places continue to open, wear your face covering, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro, and now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.